Hi everyone, Mr. Hawkins with Hawkins Tech, and we have new information regarding iPhone 17 Air, new battery case, iOS 19, and iOS 18.5 RC, and more. This is your news update for May 5th, 2025. Now, Apple announced the Pride wallpapers that is going to release in iOS 18.5, and I have a community post on my YouTube channel. Here are the new wallpapers. I believe these are called Pride Harmony. They are the updated version of the current Pride wallpapers that we got last year in iOS 17.5. So we will have updated Pride wallpapers in this update. Now it's looking like Apple could change how they release their iPhones in the future. I believe this could start with the iPhone 18, where Apple would release iPhones maybe in the spring, somewhere around March of the year, and then have the Pro models and the Pro Max model release in September. Initially, I was concerned about if this were to be the case, how would software updates play out, as we tend to get software updates every month, or every year rather, in September. We would still get those, of course. We would just get them alongside the Pro model releases, so Apple would have the event where they only show just the Pro iPhones, then have the major iOS version have a release candidate and release to the public that next week. It's looking like Apple could start that in either 2026 or 2027 with either the iPhone 18 or iPhone 19 lineup. Speaking of the iPhone, it's looking like Apple could have a new sort of case for the iPhone 17. These are the iPhone 17 dummy models. I don't have any of these models in person to show, but the iPhone 17 Air is going to be really thin, and with that thinness is a concern for battery life. Apple is working on a case. They're working on a battery case to give the iPhone 17 Air more battery so it can have an all-day battery life. Maybe giving it a case where it has a battery built in, or maybe you can utilize MagSafe, but this is one example of what one of the cases could look like on the iPhone 17 Air. We would have an all-new design with an oval-shaped camera bar across the top on the iPhone 17 Air model. As far as updates from Apple, well, today we were supposed to get iOS 18.5 RC, but of course we got the announcement of the new Pride wallpapers, so we did not get the RC. I feel like that's why Apple is delaying it, but we could see the release. We could see iOS 18.5 RC tomorrow, and then have a final release of the update on Monday, May 12th. Now, I'm probably not going to make a prepare to update video, as this update is really minor. But most certainly, I will have one for iOS 19. But after iOS 18.5 releases, then we get iOS 18.6, which again is also going to be minor. I wouldn't expect that update, however, to release either in late June or mid-July, as that's how it's been year over year. But the most exciting update that I'm looking most forward to is iOS 19. It's looking like with iOS 19, we could have circular icons with the ability to change between small or circular, as we already have small and large, which takes away the text on the icon with iOS 19 or iOS 18. But maybe we can have the circular icon to have our icons, to have circular app icons in iOS 19. And I would expect betas all throughout June, July, and August, with the public beta in July and a final release in September. Now, with the iPad with iOS 19, we could have some updates as well. As far as iPad OS 19, we could have some updates when we plug the iPad into an external monitor, sort of turning the iPad into a MacBook. With the app dock, maybe have the ability to maybe place more apps wherever we want on the iPad's larger display. And maybe if we connect the keyboard to it, that can also turn it into a MacBook also. And maybe we could have Stage Manager automatically enable when we connect a Magic Keyboard or hook it up to an external monitor. It wouldn't really support older iPads that probably don't have the M1 chip, or maybe it would. But a lot of the features like Stage Manager would not work on this particular device. As this device it has an older chip, so you wouldn't get Stage Manager or any of those major features that the iPad Pro gets, but you would still get on iPads with older chips like my iPad Air 4th generation from 2020, you would still get circular icons with iOS 19 and maybe have that with sort of a Vision OS inspired redesign. So the update you would have if we go into the Sports app here, this is a way to test this. You would have sort of updated animations to where you pull out things would pull up from the bottom. So you would have updates. And then you would probably have to it would be a swipe down sort of gesture and a swipe up when opening an app. And then it would swipe down like that. There were rumors mentioning where if you open an app, instead of swiping up, you would have to swipe down. I like the swipe down gestures, so all I hope they do is just change the animation to when you swipe up, it sort of swipes down or pulls down like how it does in the Sports app, rather than you go into the app and you actually have to swipe down, like pulling down the notification center, as they're going to have to change that in the future. As far as other releases from Apple, well, most of the anticipation is for iOS 19. iOS 18.5 is going to release on June 9th at the keynote, and I will live stream after the event. I won't live stream during it, as there may be copyrighted music, but I will most certainly live stream after the event. Then we have betas throughout June, July, and August. In September, the public release alongside the iPhone 17 models. As far as anything else from Apple, well, that's it for the week of May 5th, 2025. My name is Mr. Hawkins with Hawkins Tech. And if you like this video, like, comment, and subscribe. I'll see you guys in the next video.